Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed Bakar and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing well. So this is the first video that I'm going to make entirely in English on my YouTube channel. So there might be some mistakes or I speak something wrong. So bear it with me because this is my first time speaking straight for like 5 to 10 minutes in English in front of just the camera for you guys. I hope it will be an informative video for you. Let's start the video. So the application process has already started and I am sure many of you must have already made your application, but I have been getting a lot of messages regarding the application process, like you guys are confused about maybe the degree attestation process or which documents to be verified from which department and stuff like that. So the structure of this video is that I'm going to talk about the documents that you are required to upload at the time of applications. So first we will go through each document, and then after the end of this video I will go through some of your comments that I have received, and I think these are the comments that are mostly asked to me during the application process. So I think it will help you guys making your application. So let's jump right into the video. Okay, so starting with the application process, I have listed down a few documents that I think are required at the time of application. So let's talk about the documents that you are required to upload at the time of application process. So the first document is your degrees. It's your bachelor degree, your final transcript of your bachelor degree, then your inter and matric certificate, or if you are from other countries, it must be your higher school certificate. And all of these degrees and certificate must be attested from the Higher Education Commission. So I can talk about which department is responsible for this attestation for Pakistani people because I am from Pakistan. So you can find out your relevant Higher Education Commission board. So your bachelor's degree and your transcript of bachelor must be attested by Higher Education Commission, which is HEC in Pakistan, and your matric and inter documents I think must be attested by IBCC, which is the Lahore board, or I don't know, whatever board you are from. So this document must be attested at the time of application process, and if you don't have this document attested at the time of application, you can always email the university regarding the extension of uploading these documents. I'm talking about only these degrees attestation process at this moment. So after this degree documents, the next thing is CV. So it is really important to upload a good CV at the time of applications, because I think all the universities in Norway require you to upload the CV, and there is no standard or there is no format for a CV. But I'm gonna attach the format that I have used in my application process, which is European Pass format, which is also attached here, and I'm gonna attach the link of the document so you can download it and make your CV according to the Europass format. But again, it is not mandatory. You can always use your CV whatever you have in your hand. So the next document is IELTS, and this is one of the basic and important documents. I think most of the universities in Norway requires you to have a minimum of 6.5 IELTS overall band, but there are some universities like University of Stavanger and maybe USN that accept 6 band as well. But I think that you can easily check online which universities accept how much band. And I think below 6 is not acceptable in any university. And other than IELTS, you can always use other English proficiency certificate, which is TOEFL. So these are the two documents that I only know about: English documentation, English language documentation. There might be some other certifications which I don't know about. So you can always check the university's website which document do they accept for English language proficiency. So the next thing is letter of motivation, which is also known as the statement of purpose. It is not required by all the universities in Norway. The good thing is that, but there are some universities that might ask you to upload this document. And I think even if it's not required by all the universities, you should always upload this document, even though I did not upload it while making my application at University of Stavanger. But if you have low GPA and you think that your GPA can be a hurdle at the time of application, you can always make a good statement of purpose, writing down why do you think you are the right candidate for this seat, for this admission. So I think that's a good source of motivation for to tell other people that why you are eligible and not others. So after this letter of motivation, making it clear that I am not a professional at writing letter of motivation or statement of purpose, because I got a lot of messages asking me to check your statement of purpose or letter of motivation, but I'm not good at it, to be very honest. So maybe in the future I will make a video with someone who is good at it or is professional in writing letter of motivation, so you can get better guidance. But at this moment I don't know much about it, but you can always Google for a good motivation letter and read and go through it, or maybe there are a lot of YouTube videos on it. You can always watch them as well. Okay, so the next and the final document I think is financial document, which is also very important and it is must to have at the time of application process. So what do you mean by financial document? It is basically you have to show that you have an equivalent amount of 1,23,000 Norwegian kroner in your bank in your local currency, and it is mandatory to upload. It's not mandatory that it should be in your bank. You can use your father's bank statement or your siblings bank statement or any one of your relative or even unknown person with whom you don't have any blood relation. But if you are not using yours bank statement, then you always have to upload a letter of sponsorship. Even if it's your father or your brother or your siblings bank statement, you have to upload a letter of sponsorship, which I'm gonna link down in the description box. You can use that at the time of application process, and it is mandatory to use it at the time of application if your bank statement is not there. Okay, so after this bank statement, after this all these documents that I have spoke, there is one more document, that is letter of recommendation, and it is not required in any universities except for a few programs in some universities. For that, I'm not sure which university and which program requires you to upload letter of recommendation, but you can always check on the website, or the documents required to be uploaded, it is always mentioned on the website of each program of each university. So you can always check that and you can see if it's required or not. And if you are required to upload letter of recommendation, you can use your professor's letter of recommendation, or from your maybe from your manager if you're working in an industry. So you can use anyone's letter of recommendation. It's not that a big deal. Okay, so after all of these documents, I'm gonna go through the comments that I have received on my YouTube channel regarding the application process, and I think these comments and these questions will help you also in your application process. So talking about the first comment that I have received, it is, what about 1 year program in Norway? So there is no 1 year master program in Norway. The minimum duration for master program in Norway is 2 years. So there is no 1 year master program in Norway like in UK or USA maybe. But okay, so talking about the next, I'm gonna mute this notification. So talking about the next document, do the universities provide summer intake? Please let me know. No, the universities do not. The universities in Norway do not provide summer intake, and there is only one intake in Norway, which is winter intake. Like you have to make your application during the period of October to December, and the deadline is, just to let you know, the deadline of the application process is 1st December. So try to make your application as early as you can. But there are some universities that have the deadline after 1st December, which is University of Stavanger. It's one of them, and there is one more or two more universities. You can check them on their website. So yeah, there is only, I was talking about the intake, there is only one intake. There are no two intakes like Germany or other European countries. So you always have to apply during this duration of October to December. And let me quickly talk about the application process and what happens after the application process. So you apply, you make your application during this process, and during the month of February or March, or most probably by the end of April, you're going to get your admission letter. Hopefully all of you get it. But if you get it, then after the application, after the admission letter or the offer letter you get, you are required to submit or deposit or transfer the amount which was 1,23,000 Norwegian kroner to the university account. You are not required to transfer this amount before you get the admission. So at the time of application, you just have to show the financial document, and you are not required to transfer this amount at the time of application. So only after you get the admission, you are required to transfer this amount, which is 1,23,000 Norwegian kroner, again to the university bank's account. And once you are in Norway, which probably after the admission process, you will go apply for visa, and once you get the visa, you will be in Norway by the start of August probably. So once you're in Norway, you will get this amount as soon as you open your bank account in Norway. So this was quickly what happens after the application process. Okay, talking about the next question, is letter of what is that? Is letter of motivation compulsory? No, it's not compulsory. Some universities requires you to upload it, because not all the universities require you to upload it, because in my university, when I was making application in University of Stongar, it was not required to upload, so I did not upload it. But I would highly encourage you to upload this letter of motivation if you have low GPA. That shows really good motivation why you want to join this university if you have low GPA. Okay, so talking about at 37, Are you eligible for Norway MBA? Yes. So I get this question a lot, that does age gap matter in Norway or not? Or I have like 10 years of age gap, 15 years of age gap, even some of you ask like 20 years of age gap. Am I eligible to apply for masters in Norway after my bachelor's? So absolutely yes. There is no limit to the age limit, or there is no limit to the age or stuff like that. You are always eligible to apply for your masters, no matter what age you are in at the moment. You're always eligible to apply. So age gap does not matter at all. So the next question is, while applying in Norwegian universities, do we need to courier all the document by post as well, or online application is enough? So in Norwegian universities, you are not required to send any single document, because I know there are some universities in other part of Europe that require you to send documents, just like Germany or maybe any other university as well, any other country as well. But in Norway, you are not required to send any single document. So you are not spending any single penny at your application process in Norway, and that's the best thing about it. You can always apply in as many universities as you want, and there is no single application process fee. And you are not answering the question, you are not required to send the documents. Okay, and the next thing is, if I have IELTS of 5.5 overall, am I eligible to apply? No, you are not eligible to apply if you do not meet the application requirement, which is usually 6.5 IELTS, or maybe 6 IELTS in case of some other universities. So if you do not meet this basic requirement, you are not eligible to apply. They will reject your application straight away. So try to make sure you only apply when you have met the minimum requirement of the admission process, so you don't waste your time in the application. Okay, so the next thing is, in how many universities we can apply through Sognar's web. So there is no limit to the number of applications you can make in universities. You can apply in as many universities as you want, but there is a limit that you can apply in maximum 2 program in each university. So there are a lot of options for you, like University of Agder, University of Stavanger, University of Oslo, University of Tromsø, and there are many more. So you can apply in all of these universities, but for each university you can only apply in maximum 2 programs, and I think that's more than enough. Okay, that's the end of the questions, but there is one more question that I get a lot, and that is about the GPA. If I have low GPA, am I eligible to apply? If I have 2.6 GPA, maybe 2.5 GPA, which is around 60% or 65%, am I eligible to apply or not? So this is something that I cannot say, because I'm not the person who is involved in this application process. But there is one thing that I can say for sure, that even if you have low GPA, you must apply. As I mentioned earlier, if you have low GPA, try to make a good letter of motivation that shows why you are eligible for this position, that for this particular master seat. So I think if even if you have low GPA, please consider applying to the universities. Don't go only for high ranked universities like NTNU, which is of course the top ranked universities in Norway, but the education standard in Norway, throughout Norway, is the same. So you can apply in any universities even with the low GPA. Don't give up even if you have low GPA. Okay, so I just got to know that some of the people even asked Abuzar about the letter of proficiency. So even if you have studied your bachelor in English language and you can have the letter of proficiency with you, that's not accepted in Norway. You have to give your IELTS or TOEFL or whichever language proficiency certificate is accepted by that particular universities. There is no exception to that. So that was it from today's video. I hope it was informative for you. I tried to cover all the points that I had in mind while making this video, but if I have missed out anything, you can always comment down. I always answer your comments, guys, so try to write down in the comments. And I have attached my and Abuzar Instagram here as well, so if you have something personal that you cannot ask in the comment section, you can always DM us on our Instagram. We will try to answer you as soon as possible. So wishing you best of luck for your application process, and signing out for today's video. See you in the next one. Allah Hafiz. And after I'm done with this application process, I will go through some of your comments and answer them, because I think these comments are
थोड़ा स्लो बोलो.
मैं बहुत तेज बोल रहा हूँ. I'm gonna speak all of these document. So the first, मैं खांसी बार-बार कर रहा हूँ because I'm just nervous. Okay. Or any one of your relative or even unknown person who with whom you don't have any blood relation. But if you are not using yours blood